Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of our NASCAR 25 career mode, and it's finally time to kick off our full-time Cup Series season with the Daytona 500 coming today. I hope you're all having a great day. We spent the off-season doing some extra races on the side, from supercars to dirt racing at the Chili Bowl, and as well testing in an LMDH Toyota car. It was an absolute blast, but now we are here in Daytona and we are ready for the Daytona 500, and we had exciting news following some of our off-season stuff. We actually signed with a brand new energy drink, Boost Energy, that will be a secondary sponsor on the car. This is just a placeholder car right here, but you see the sponsor logo on the hood. Very simple, very slick, and we will be doing some unique marketing campaigns similar to what Red Bull does with Boost Energy, so that is going to be a very exciting thing as well. I'm not going to spoil, but there is some plans that we've got in the works with this new sponsor that's hopped on. Actually, after the Supercars race, they were able to actually hop on board with us now as we come into Daytona 500 weekend with this brand new Tricon Garage 85 Technique Toyota Camry for practice here. Now, someone recommended I should do a Daytona USA paint scheme. I would love to, but the sponsor didn't really work with the colors, so I'm going to save that for another time, as we were ready to get behind the wheel for the first time here in Daytona 500 practice. Really excited to get on the racetrack here now as we actually make it official. We are on the track in our number 85 as we head on in towards turn number 1 and get on the track here on the exit of turn 2. And in practice and qualifying specifically, you'll always see a wheel cam there on the right side of your screen. You see me over there in my Next Level Racing rig. Use the link down below in the description and use code GOIN5 for 5% discount on Next Level Racing products such as sim racing, cockpits, wheel stands, as well as we were settling in behind the 35 of Riley Herbst's fellow Rookie of the Year competitor against us as well, Shane Van Gisbergen, who's gone full-time NASCAR Cup Series racing in this 2025 season. It's going to be fun going against him and Riley Herbst as well. Now, as we in practice would actually link up with the 99 of Daniel Suarez here in that Freeway.com Chevrolet Camaro, and we're coming in with a bit of a reputation into the Cup Series now, and we really weren't going to be here if Denny Hamlin didn't have a different plan in place with Corey Heim and an agreement. Tricon wanted Corey Heim in this car. That is not a secret, but he, well, simply couldn't take the offer, and now here we are driving the number 85 for Tricon Garage, and this is going to be an exciting opportunity to kind of prove ourselves. And we, like I said, we got a bit of a reputation of being a little bit rough around the edges. We've used up some other drivers. We've been called out by many drivers, including Denny Hamlin, and we're going to be racing now full time against Denny Hamlin, so it's going to be an interesting dynamic this season as I would wrap up practice and practice a pit entrance here as we speed by a lot, but obviously we do speed into the pit lane in this career mode because of the AI's silly pitting advantage that they do have. But we wrapped up practice, and now we come Wednesday night. It's time to qualify. Now, this is going to be an exciting one here to kind of see what kind of speed we have in this number 85. And in the Daytona 500, it becomes real when you get on the racetrack for qualifying. We still as well have the duels that we have to get through today. Thank goodness that's finally back in a NASCAR game, so we also get to take part in the duel. So it's going to be a bit of a lengthy episode, so sit back and enjoy. Joey Logano, Austin Cindric actually tied up at the top there as we would now head on to the racetrack for our qualifying attempt here in this Technique number 85 for Tricon Garage. Now, as we got one lap to make things happen, and now that we are in the Cup Series, we are going back to simplicity. One race per episode, and we're now using full qualifying. So some weekends we'll see multi-round qualifying as well. That's going to be also exciting now to get the fully authentic experience as we head down the front straightaway here, coming through the tri-oval to the line. What is it going to be? Not enough for round 2, but we do end up P20, so pretty happy with that, which means we'll be starting Duel 2 in what I would imagine is P10. So Joey Logano currently on pole, but keep in mind there is another round of qualifying for the top 10 drivers to actually determine pole position. So although Logano might have gotten P1 here in the first round, not a guarantee that he's actually going to start on pole for the Daytona 500. And as we went into the second round of qualifying, it was Austin Cindric who would end up on pole position over his teammate Joey Logano. So Team Penske front row lockout. Their positions cannot change for the start of the Daytona 500, but third on down can. And we have a good opportunity coming into Thursday night to better our starting position for Sunday afternoon, as we're going to be racing in this duel against the likes of Ross Chastain, William Byron, Bubba Wallace, Chris Buescher, two-time champ Kyle Busch, as well as the 22 of Joey Logano. So as we get ready to head onto the racetrack now, we are ready to go dueling here in Daytona as well. Connor Zilisch in the field for Trackhouse Racing this weekend, and he is in this duel as well, as here we go. The green flag is out, and we're racing here from the Thursday night duels from Daytona to set the starting order from third place on down for the Daytona 500. Joey Logano, William Byron lead the field down into turn number 1. We are starting in front of the 54 of Ty Gibbs now, and immediately what I learned is with this level 1 car all around, it doesn't take off very well here in Daytona, so we are going to be dealing with this every single restart all weekend long, so we're going to have to hope that there's not a lot of chaos, because we're going to be losing several positions from the looks of it now, as we drop to 14th position here in front of the 54 of Ty Gibbs now. But I mean, yeah, settling in behind the 3 of Austin Dillon here. He's got Daniel Suarez in front of him. The first Gatorade duel. The first duel has already taken place. Unfortunately, you can't see like who finished where in the first duel, but nonetheless, we settle in behind the Freeway Insurance 99 Chevrolet Camaro here for Trackhouse Racing's Daniel Suarez now, as we are going to set down on this inside line. Of course, we can jump up to the middle, we can go up to the top, we can go anywhere in pack racing in NASCAR 25, which is one of my favorite things, because in previous NASCAR games, just run the inside line and go forward. Now you can kind of go forward anywhere, and quickly you see me jump up to the outside here on lap 3, and look who's coming up behind us, Connor Zilisch. Now, we battled it out with him in Xfinity. We even had a supercars battle with him briefly in the offseason until he fumbled. Well, his team fumbled the pit strategy in the rainy conditions, and now here we are bumper to bumper in the Daytona 500. Zilisch not full-time this season here now, as Trackhouse Racing wanted to give him another season to develop, which is probably the original plan for me as well in Xfinity, until the Tricon situation developed. Now, as we continue 3 wide on the outside, we cannot make it to the end of this race without a pit stop, so that is going to be necessary. We've got 4 wide in front of us, and in my debut in Daytona in the Cup Series, I wasn't really interested in entertaining that, so I kind of just stay put right here, kind of following in the background now, and they are still going 4 wide as we head down into the tri-oval. Now look at this 4th lane going, Stenhouse as well as Chastain and Eric Jones. Now we're going to join in. Connor Zilisch said let's go, and I said, you know what, alright, if Zilisch wants to go, we're gonna go 4 wide on the top through 1 and 2, and this is good practice now for potentially Sunday afternoon in the Daytona 500 as well. William Byron leads the inside line, Stenhouse middle, Chastain top, big momentum on this outside lane. It kind of stalls out halfway down the back straightaway, but Chastain, there's another shot there. The middle lane dies, the bottom and the top move. Chastain to the lead of the duel here now, with still 10 coming in, 9 laps to go in the second duel. We've got that Red Bull 87 right there tucked up behind us as we exit turn 4. And as we go down this front straightaway, big push from behind from Connor Zilisch into the lead. Tricon Garage's first laps led in the NASCAR Cup Series in an exhibition race, at least now. I mean, you say it's exhibition, there is points awarded for the top 10 in the duels. Do keep that in mind. Now, as we've got Cody Ware up here in the 3rd position, just in front of the 47 of Stenhouse, but as things would continue to shuffle around, we now settle down to the inside as Connor Zilisch actually is going to jump up to the top, and he's going to bring Stenhouse with him. Kyle Busch is going to come up to the back bumper of myself. He's going to start pushing me forward so he doesn't go with the Chevrolets around him. There's a lot of Chevrolets around us and no Toyotas until we get back to Eric Jones in about P6 as now Connor Zilisch is going to jump down in front of us here as he controls the pace suddenly now, as we got Chastain lining up behind us. Hold on, out of turn 2, Zilisch jumps up, and now with help from his teammate of Ross Chastain, we're going to go 3 wide down this back straightaway for the lead of this race. Now Chastain jumps up to push his teammate of Zilisch into turn number 3, and now he's actually going to jump back down, so Chastain kind of all over the place, but a lot of Tri-Cup's presence up here. Suarez, Chastain, as well as Zilisch, Van Gisbergen not in this duel, but now we are clear and leading as we approach the start of lap 9. Is a 3 wide behind us now. Fantastic racing in these opening laps here from Daytona.
Owen and Tricon Garage is exceeding expectations so far here, guys. I just spoke with the 85 team, and Owen has reported no issues with the handling overall. He's really happy with the car in his debut. Let's see if he can keep it up front.
Off of turn 2 now, continuing to lead down the back straightaway, you see John Hunter Nemechek and Noah Gragson currently have no contact with the draft, unfortunately for them. Now, as we've got now the 24 of William Byron tucked up behind us, Zilisch and Chastain kind of dropping back a little bit now, as we are not far away from seeing some pit stops here in this duel. So we got to be ready for that. We got 4 laps to fill. We're coming to 6 laps to go. So we are just a few laps short at this point now, as we are just now for sure staying to the inside. I mean, we're already controlling on the inside, but definitely not even really going to want to jump up, because we want to, of course, be ready to pit. Bubba Wallace comes into the pits, and so does a few others. I believe Alex Bowman and one more driver came in right there. So 3 drivers at least into the pit lane now, as we'll be coming back around, and still no call from my crew chief about coming into the pits. So I'm kind of waiting for the call from the crew chief, but the longer you go, the worse it is, because the cars that pit earlier at these super speedways always get the benefit. Around goes Connor Zilisch behind us, and so does the 21 of Josh Berry. Caution is out here in the duel, and that is going to force us all into the pits. Those 3 drivers in the pits already can stay out and leapfrog to the front of the grid. Meanwhile, we're going to have to give up some track position and pit here for a splash of fuel. Only half a can needed, as we'll get ready for a restart. And it's only going to be like 2 laps to go in this duel. 2 or 3 laps is all we're going to get of racing, preferably 3, but as we get into the pits and get ready to go back racing, you can see right here it's Bowman, Johnson, and Wallace. Jimmy Johnson there in P2, one of the part-time drivers, of course, this season, the 7-time Cup Series champion, on the front row, side by side with his old number 48 here as the green flag is back out. It's 2 laps to go in the duel now, and sure enough, once again, we cannot take off in this number 85. Now, unfortunately, the game does not let you upgrade your car going into the first race of a new series. I don't understand it, because we had enough money to make some upgrades, but unfortunately, yeah, the game simply does not allow you to buy better parts in race 1. So we are kind of stuck with restarts like this, and I'm a little bit concerned we might kind of suffer some of the same fate next episode in Atlanta as well. I've not recorded that one yet, so I can't really speak on that for sure, but I'm going to be the only one on the outside. We had a huge push from Chastain, and we're still carrying the momentum through the center of the corner. It's single file all the way back until now Cody Ware jumps up, so does Ty Gibbs. I'm taking the momentum right on past them, or am I? The momentum stalls out now as the 54 is glued to the 51. 1 lap to go here in duel number 2, and Alex Bowman leads with help from the 48 of Jimmy Johnson. I jump back down in line. Overall, this still worked out pretty well, and we've got an opportunity to maybe even go for a win here in duel number 2, as Bowman leads over the 84, still on the bottom as we exit turn 2. However, Cody Ware is going to the lead of the duel with help from Ty Gibbs down the back straightaway for the final time, and suddenly in the opening race for Tricon Garage as a full-time team, we have gotten ourselves an opportunity to maybe steal a win in the duel at least, as we continue through 3 following this 54. Ware leads on the inside out of turn 4, a shot to the back of Gibbs now down the front straightaway, help from behind with the 3 of Austin Dillon as we cut down to the inside. Coming to the line, Ty Gibbs takes the duel number 2 and sets the stage for the Daytona 500. High action, high intensity, and now we end up P2, putting us in a really good starting position for the Daytona 500 on Sunday, as Austin Dillon ends up third, as well Chastain and Cody Ware all in the top 5. At the bottom of the grid, Josh Berry and Daniel Suarez. Now, as it is time to go to Sunday afternoon, the Daytona 500 for the first time in our NASCAR 25 career.
Sunday afternoon, the black top's getting hot, 40 engines screaming for the one and only spot. Feel the thunder in your chest, the rumble in the ground. It's go time, light 'em up and let 'em roll. Green flags waving, lose your self-control. This is more than just a race, it's in our heart and soul.
It's the Great American Race, and if that didn't get you hyped up, I don't know what. Well, that's a pre-race intro. We'll roll every single episode, and as well be making custom intros in my other career modes as well, as it's time for the Great American Race, and we are the first full-time Canadian behind the wheel in quite some time in the NASCAR Cup Series, as we head into the cockpit and get ready to roll for the Daytona 500. Right, guys, thank you all for the opportunity. Let's go make something happen here today. Here we go then, the engines fire. It's time for the Daytona 500 here in 2025. And it's Austin Cindric and Joey Logano, Team Penske, that lead the field to green. The 2025 Daytona 500 is underway. Chase Elliott and Ty Gibbs, your second row, as well as Ryan Blaney here in P5. All Penske racing in the top 5 starting position. 16 laps of racing in stage 1, meaning we will have to make a pit stop just like we had in the duel. B, maybe, though under caution. Now the question is, will we make it to a green flag pit stop here? Now an absolutely horrific start again as we go down this back straightaway, but we know what to expect at this point, and we just need to be thankful that the AI are willing to stick with us and suffer through the lack of speed on these restarts now, because we drop outside of the top 10 as we head off into turn 3. Austin Dillon now to my left rear, and actually he's gonna jump back up in behind me, so appreciate the assistance here on the exit of turn 4. We'll get some draft, however, from the 34 of Todd Gilliland for Front Row Motorsports now, and we'll jump down to the inside. Joey Logano already going in the wrong direction as I take my momentum right through to the middle, to the back of the 2021 NASCAR Cup Series champion of Kyle Larson, still seeking another title here. His second title it would be if he can win this season just like he did in real life, as we got Joey Logano lined up in that 22 now behind us. Austin Cindric now has his Penske Racing teammate of Ryan Blaney lined up behind, and that Menards number 12 Ford Mustang as Kyle Larson pushes the 54 of Gibbs to the front of the pack here now, as well as actually led by the 9 of Chase Elliott. I should mention we've still got help from the 22 of Joey Logano just behind, but a lot of disorganization in the field so far in this race. Now as Chase Elliott's going to jump up in front, sure, we'll give him a shot to the bumper now, as here comes the 2 of Cindric, as he gives me a big shot to my back bumper. Chase Elliott leads lap number 2 now, as here we come to the lead of the Daytona 500 with the help from the 2 of Cindric. Now another driver we were racing in Australian supercars at Adelaide with just the last episode in the off-season now, and here we are working together to go to the lead of the Daytona 500. Now we led laps in the duel, but now we're looking to lead laps for Tricon Garage in their Daytona 500 debut. Now Chase Elliott's jumped up to that second lane again. He's trying to make that one work now as we roll through 3, and it's a lot of 2x2. Not really seeing much 3-wide action yet, but that is certainly going to change over the course of this race here as we go down through this tri-oval. Here comes the 12 of Ryan Blaney, but we've officially led a lap now as we head down the front straightaway. If you don't count the duel, that's our first official lap led of our NASCAR Cup Series career, and really didn't expect to be up front, I mean, so soon, but obviously these super speedways are the opportunities for us to be competitive, and we're going to make the most of those opportunities. On top of that, as well, we know that the road courses are going to be great opportunities for us. That's our only Xfinity win as a rookie last season was at a road course at Sonoma Raceway. As now we have got some 3-wide action here with 10 laps to go in the stage, and the organization kind of mixing up in between laps here where things get really organized and it kind of breaks apart now as I'm actually jumping up to the outside with the 2 of Cindric now leaving the bottom open, but I trust the 2 of Cindric to really give me a shove forward. He's the reason we were leading in the first place. As well, the fellow rookie of Connor Zilisch is up here, lined up behind the 2 of Cindric. Zilisch got wrapped up in a crash in the duel and is going to get wrapped up in another one because the 2 of Cindric goes around and collects the 87 directly behind us as we lost the lead to the 3 of Austin Dillon. Caution came out. No one's going to pit here. As you can see, replay, the 2 just completely lost it on the exit of the corner. Zilisch eventually goes for a loop there, and as well the 60 of Ryan Preece, brand new team for him, collected as well in the incident. We'll get ready to go back racing now, and nobody pitted, so I would follow suit as I'm just imagining we can make it to the end of the stage. But as we go back green, we've got 7 laps of racing to go here in the stage, and we have 6 laps of field, so it's going to be tight, and we might actually be in a little bit of trouble, but we're not going to enter any panic mode now, as once again, horrible restart now. I mean, look at the top 5, but now what this also presents is a bit of an opportunity, because if we get the push from behind right here from Tyler Reddick, we're going to be able to just have this huge shove of momentum into the corner and take it wherever we want. Unfortunately for me, though, we got 2 lanes being blocked. I maybe could have shot the middle at the last second, but we're going to line up behind the 9 of Chase Elliott. Now my mentality has switched from, okay, I don't really want to lead because I've already burned more fuel, so what I would rather do is save fuel. So we're going to kind of settle in behind the 3 right here of Austin Dillon as the 9's jumped up a lane, and now we're just going to try and continue up towards the front, but also save fuel. I am not concerned unless my fuel light comes on before lap 15. If my fuel light comes on before lap 15, that's a 2-lap warning. That means we would not make it to the end of the stage, and we would have to look at coming into the pits. So, yeah, I mean, it would be a bit awkward now as we continue on down this back straightaway. Connor Zilisch right here in the conversation. Gilliland as well. Ty Gibbs out front after winning duel number 2 right here in the conversation, leading on the inside with Joey Logano, who's gotten himself back up into the mix as well as we go down this front straightaway. Tyler Reddick in the number 45, just behind myself now as we would continue to follow the 3. Reddick actually jumped up a lane and moved all the way up to second as we would continue following the 3 of Austin Dillon. Now Joey Logano to the lead and actually down to the inside as we're coming to 3 laps to go. So obviously what I'm not wanting to see is my fuel light, well, it just came on. So it came on way earlier than I anticipated. We've still got 3 to go. We're not going to make it to the end of the stage from the looks of it. So now I'm just kind of like, okay, wait to see what happens around me. Is anybody going to pit? And the answer actually is yes. On the exit of turn 4, the 22 in, the 3, the 1, the 9, they all come in. I just wasn't ready for it, to be completely honest. I was kind of slacking, looking behind me. So I'm like, okay, we're going to have to wait. We're going to have to pit because we're going to run out of fuel in front of the pack, and I would rather not do that. So we're going to come into the pits here at the end of this lap as we're to the back of the 45 of Tyler Reddick now down this back straightaway here. Wouldn't be surprised if the 45 comes into the pits as well. And as we come through 3 and off of turn 4, approaching the final lap, unfortunately, we just don't have enough fuel. So we're going to have to come into the pits, follow the 45. The 34 is coming in as well. We're going a little bit deep there into the pits now. And I made a critical error, and I forgot to request a pit stop. So we cannot pit the car, making matters worse as now we just roll through the pit lane. We're going to be 30th, and we're still going to have to make a pit stop because of my generational fumble. So Now we're at 0 laps of fuel. We're going to run out of fuel probably heading down into like turn 3, as now there's still a race for the, it's Cody Ware leading this race on the exit of turn 4. Is he actually about to win this opening stage? Coming through the tri-oval? No, he is not. Here comes the 19, Chase Briscoe, new driver in that car this season. He takes stage 1, and thank goodness the caution comes out. We, however, end up in 30th position. I mean, yeah, not good. Not good. A massive mistake from a rookie right there, and we have to pit. You see cars behind us all staying out because they, of course, were already on the pits. But we have to pit for tires as well as fill it up on fuel, and I think we're going to be restarting in the 40th position. I think we're going to be all the way at the back here, unfortunately. And there's your answer. We're dead last, unfortunately. Kyle Larson to my left, Suarez and Barry on the row in front of us. So it's going to be not easy because we know, yeah, we know we're going to get a slow restart. So we are just going to have to hope that we can hang on to the draft of the 5 or the 99. 16 laps again here in stage number 2. We've got that number 5 there directly in front of us. Like I said, if we just keep that draft, we're going to be in really good shape here. And honestly, we're probably going to have such a massive run down the back straightaway into turn number 3, but obviously only time will tell. So let's just wait and see. Here we go. We are already in good shape, upwards of 190. We might hit 200 miles per hour. 199. I got 199. I thought about jumping up to the top, then I stayed in line behind the 5, now just kind of following him. This is a good little trio right here, the 5, the 99, the 54. I feel like this is a trio of cars that if I'm following, we're probably going to go forward. However, we're kind of having these kind of checkups here in the back part of the pack, so it's halting the progress, and it's making it really hard to build up actual momentum and actually go anywhere. As we got Ryan Blaney there to our inside in that number 12 now, and Kyle Larson's actually going to leave the 99 and the 54 and jump down to the middle. I'm going to jump up to the top here, and then I catch this checkup as well.
Clear bottom.
Not a good situation back here in this part of the pack, just because of the fact that there's so many checkups, and then if you check up at the wrong time, you see what happens, because now I'm to the back of the pack again, to dead last here in P40. We have a sponsored goal of a top 25. I went for like a harder difficulty on the sponsored goal here for technique, just because I'm confident we can finish in the top 25 in Daytona, and as well hopefully Atlanta. And honestly, after the first 2 races of the season, you know, that's when reality is going to set in, and we're going to struggle as a team. There is no questioning that, but that's why we got to take as much opportunity of Daytona and Atlanta as we possibly can now, as we've got help from Justin Allgaier here for Junior Motorsports, and then number 40 making their Cup Series debut this weekend as we pass the 99 of Suarez. And now behind the National Debt Relief number 11 for Joe Gibbs Racing, Denny Hamlin now, as we are settling in briefly behind him and just kind of letting things play out. But then again, I check up at a bad time behind the 11, and you see what happens. We go backwards again. So got to be a little bit smarter about that now, and when you're in the back half of the field. Now we jump down to the middle following this 54, and I get clear of the 99, so I jump down to the inside, and now we're going to be 3 wide on the bottom, and we're going to roll up hopefully here to the back of the 77 of Hocevar, whoever's in the bottom. But now I've got no help here. The 99's behind us, but he's not pushing me, so that killed our momentum. But we would get back up here to the back of the 77 of Hocevar now on lap 5 of 16 in this stage. We do know, of course, pit stops are going to be coming as we're going to jump up to the outside. Now here comes Allgaier directly on my back bumper, pushing me to the outside of the 21 of Josh Berry, to the outside of the 20 of Christopher Bell as well. And here we go, just like that. We're in the main group again. So now I would jump up to that 3rd lane with the 34 of Todd Gilliland. There's Connor Zilish jumping up there as well, as we're going to get to the back of that 87. I don't know why some people in like the broadcasting say Zilich. It's not Zilich, it's Zilish, but nonetheless, that's a whole nother topic. We are continuing behind that 87 now as we exit turn 4, and as we now head down to the middle lane. There, got a little bit aggressive on that one. There's the 71 of Michael McDowell, brand new team for him this season with Spire Motorsports now, as we jump back up to the outside lane, just basically going wherever I can take some momentum, and it's gotten me nearly into the top 15 about halfway through this second middle stage. And now jumping into the middle lane, I had gotten myself into the top 15 of unofficially, for the first time this entire weekend, we see the 88 of Shane Van Gisbergen, and he's behind his crashing teammate of Ross Chastain. Cautions out, everybody's going to come into the pits, and we got lucky there. We just barely avoided that one, as we're going to pit for 4 tires. Actually, I don't know if we need tires. The left sides look pretty good. So do the right sides. I'm going to go with the crew chief call on that one, which is 4 tires. So we will take tires, and we will take 2 cans of fuel. And we got really lucky to avoid that one. Obviously don't want to see cautions. Like, you know, usually I'm okay with like big crashes at super speedways. They're fun to kind of work their way through, but it kills the momentum of this car. So we lose 1 spot in the pits. We're on the outside of fellow Rookie of the Year candidate Shane Van Gisbergen. Over 80 wins in supercars now, and a multi-time champion. And here he is bringing his talents here to the United States into the NASCAR Cup Series. Can't wait to see what he's going to do in his rookie campaign on the road courses, and I am hopeful, not in the first road course race at COTA, but, you know, in the coming road courses at Sonoma and Chicago, I'm hopeful that we can maybe compete with Shane Van Gisbergen. And kind of looking at that schedule, like I talked about earlier, I mean, the road courses and the super speedways are the best opportunities for this team this season, and I scratch off COTA just because of how fresh the team is. We're going to be slow there, but outside of that, we have 6 super speedways, including today, and then 5 road courses minus COTA gives us 4. That's 10 races that I think we're going to have a chance to be competitive at for sure in our rookie season. SVG now to the outside as we exit turn number 4 down this front straightaway, and Chase Elliott's going through the middle between Reddick and the 42 of John Hunter Nemechek now, and I'm trying to follow suit with the number 9 Napa Auto Parts Camaro. Now Jimmy Johnson still up there on the conversation now, 7-time, looking for his 3rd Daytona 500 victory now, as now we move up to the outside later on here in the stage following this 45 and the 9 of Elliott. Now the middle lane's kind of disorganized, so I didn't really want to be a part of that. Jimmy Johnson still up there on the inside. Austin Dillon leads this race as we exit turn 4. We're coming to 4 laps to go in the stage. Big shot to the back of the 45. I've got Justin Haley, I think that is, behind me. Elliott trying to jump up there. I lift that allows him to jump up. I was trying to make sure we did not hook him in the right rear. Now with 2 to go though, coming to the final lap of the stage, Jimmy Johnson leads that bottom lane, and we were trapped on the top. It's 3x3 for a good 4 or 5 rows as we exit turn 4, coming to the final lap of stage 2. Is this setting the stage for the final laps in the actual 3rd and final stage now as we come through 3 and 4, Johnson on the bottom, Bowman in the middle. It's going to be a drag race between these two. Our top lane led by Reddick just doesn't have enough steam. Who's going to get the stage when? Can't tell from here. I just know it's close. P10 for us in the stage. There's a single point as it's Alex Bowman who takes stage number 2. Jimmy Johnson has some speed in that number 84. Watch out for that 84 car in this final stage. Now part-time driver in his own team with Legacy Motor Club as we will pit for fuel and as well tires. I could kind of do with or without, but again, we're going to listen to the crew chief and go with 4 tires. Stage 3. The sun has fallen, the nighttime is here, and we're going racing now as the Daytona 500 enters the final stage here now from stage number 3, and it's going to be 18 laps to go here in this race. Lap 33. It's not a lot of racing. There is a green flag pit stop potentially on the way, but we have seen all green flag pit stops today avoided, just like we did in the duel as well, because of some accidents. Now it's very hit or miss at the super speedways. I've noticed it throughout the entirety of the career mode. Sometimes you're going to get those green flag pit stops, sometimes you're not, and it seems like there's kind of trends. You know, if it trends one way, it's going to stay that way, and tonight here in Daytona it's trending towards the direction of not getting them, so I'm going to kind of race like we're probably not going to get them now as we continue moving our way back forward there to the inside of Noah Gregson, another driver on a new team this season. I jump up to the 45, big shot to the back of the 45. He really stalled out there on the exit of turn 4, more than I had originally anticipated, as you could tell, as Jimmy Johnson's now on his own in the middle. I would say, hey, don't mind if I do. I'm going to help a fellow Toyota here of the Legacy Motor Club 84 and give him a nice shot there. there into turn number 1. Now, as I don't really have to stick with Johnson. If an opportunity to does something different opens up like this right here, I'm going to do it. Reddick all on his own on the top lane, and I'm going to follow him here now as we're going to give him a shot, and we're going to push Tyler Reddick to the lead of the Daytona 500 here on the opening laps of this third and final stage now, as we'll settle in behind that Jordan branded 45, clear of the field, directly on the back bumper of the 45 now, and I am totally fine with staying in line behind Reddick for a while, because that is going to allow us to save some fuel. So I would settle in behind this 45 car. I wasn't really out here trying to make any moves now. I was just trying to save fuel in this car, be prepared for a green flag pit stop at some point just in case. I don't think it's coming, but you still have to be prepared for it now, as we've got help from the three of Austin Dillon. You see the Boost Energy branding there on the back bumper now, our personal sponsor that joined with us here just before Daytona, as now looking behind us at this point, Cole Custer had eventually gotten up behind me in P3. Joey Logano, he's been up here all day. Joey Logano is definitely going to be in the mix right down to the end of this race, I guarantee it, as we come to lap 38 at this point now, and not a lot of intensity in the pack right now, a lot of disorganization. Jimmy Johnson's falling back, and yeah, I mean, not a lot of 3 wide, a lot of 2x2, if that. A lot of single file as well up front here, as Cole Custer actually makes a move to the outside. He's trying to get some help from Justin Haley back there a few rows, and Haley is going to get a nice run as I commit to just pushing this 45 of Tyler Reddick. And as we come to lap 40, look at this, 2x2x2. Now the organization is starting to pick up, and as well a little bit of 3 wide. I saw Chase Briscoe up there as well. The intensity is coming as Logano's going to pit, Chastain and others. I mean, that was a good 4 or 5 cars that just pitted. As my crew chief says, let's pit this time. We're going to take 1 can of fuel, no tires, as Chase Elliott goes around behind us. And turn 1 and 2, he's going to collect multiple other drivers, and the caution flies. And once again, a caution. How many times does the caution come out on the lap I plan to pit? I don't even know. But that is going to bring everyone but the drivers that already pitted, of course, into the pits, meaning we are going to lose some track position. 1 can of fuel, as well, actually recommending a second of repairs. I am going to take that, no tires, and it's going to be, I mean, not many laps to go. We're coming to 9 laps to go right now, and by the time we cycle out, we're probably going to have maybe 5-6 laps left in this race as we cycle out into P6. And it's Ross Chastain, Joey Logano, the front row, Ty Dillon, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. there, P3 and P4. We know what's coming. We're going to get a slow restart. There it is. Now it's going to be 7 laps to go. Okay, we got a little bit more time than I had originally anticipated, which is great now. Just a little bit more time to work with is what we want. So now, as we head off into turn 1, so far not as horrible as a restart as I expected, but it's probably going to get worse here now, as we're just losing a little bit here every few moments to that 47 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. The inside is clear. I'm going to jump in behind Kozlowski to get some draft. Don't want to stay on the inside. I hate having to be forced into one lane and not really have options. So I'm going to jump up to the second lane. Stenhouse is on his own. Do I go with Stenhouse or go with Logano? Both of them are great at super speedway racing, but they're also both great at trying to block and wrecking half the field. So I end up going with Logano, however, now as we exit turn 4. Both Daytona 500 champions, of course, now as here comes Tyler Reddick as they're going 3 wide for the lead. Chastain middle, Bowman bottom with really no real help. As now as well, Ty Dillon up here in the conversation, leading the outside lane, but by being on the top, unfortunately, I would end up getting trapped up here, and the 2 lanes to my inside really started to roll, and now we are outside of the top 10 with 5 coming to 4 laps to go in the Daytona 500. You can feel the intensity building at this point. It's currently 3x3x3. Jimmy Johnson, I see him in the rear view mirror. He's in that middle lane, but seems to be stalled out. Can't quite get up here. And now Chase Briscoe is going to jump down to that middle lane now. He saw the hole between the 84 and the 24 and takes advantage now. We're still 4 wide through the tri-oval just about, I think, now as we continue to lean on the back of the 22 and officially into turn number 1. We are, in fact, 4 wide to the top 3 cars to my inside. side. Thank goodness now that I'm on PC, I'm on a wheel, and I can hold my line. If I was on a controller, this would have been a disaster. As we continue down the back straightaway, who's going to win this Daytona 500 to kick off this 2025 season? We're about to find out in just 3 laps time. Denny Hamlin, I can see him on the far left, working his way forward there to the inside of Chastain. He's second on the inside behind the leader of Alex Bowman now, as they're 3, 4 wide up front. Ryan Blaney, Reddick up there as well. As we continue now, they're still 4 wide in front of us as we were coming to 2 to go. I haven't had an opportunity to move anywhere. I've been stuck, and it is what it is. We just got to hope that some momentum shifts, but right now the momentum is not in our favor, as now we could jump down to the middle. There is a hole, but I am going to commit to the 22 of Logano. I think that our best chance is going to be with this 22, but he's kind of indecisive as well. I mean, look at this, 3, 4 rows of 4 wide. Ryan Blaney leads with 2 to go as we've dropped all the way down to 18th position now, as we're right to the back bumper of that Shell Pennzoil Ford Mustang. Joey Logano looking for his second Daytona 500. Obviously at this point not going to happen. As for us, maybe we could sneak a top 10 out of this now, as Denny Hamlin leads the inside line to the lead of the Daytona 500. Now a 3-time Daytona 500 champion looking for 4. Ryan Blaney leads the middle. We're back to just 3 wide. This is going to allow some energy to kind of build up again instead of the 4 wide kind of bottleneck. 1 lap to go in the Daytona 500. It's Hamlin and Blaney side by side. The third lane led by Reddick is multiple car lengths back into turn 1. The outside's gaining momentum here. This is the perfect lane. The 2 lanes to our left now slowing down. The outside's got all the momentum at the perfect time. Hamlin, Blaney dropping back, Reddick to the lead. Down the back straightaway for the final time, and suddenly we're into the conversation when we thought we were out just a lap ago. Hamlin dropping back, Reddick dropping back. The outside is moving through. Ty Dillon to the lead of the Daytona 500 on the final lap, as we have to stay 3 to the top now, as it's actually Austin Dillon to the lead. It's the brothers out in front. Didn't even notice the 3 off turn 4. Now a shot to the back of the 22. Here comes Logano and myself to the line, looking to the right side. Drag race. Joey Logano gets his second Daytona 500 victory in unbelievable fashion over Austin Dillon and myself. Unbelievable finish. The Dillon brothers nearly pulled off the ultimate heist of getting a 1-2 Dillon finish, but instead I pushed Joey Logano to victory, and I tried to take it from Logano right there at the end, just didn't have enough momentum. But an unbelievable final 4 or 5 laps of this race. That was some of the most fun super speedway racing I think I've ever had in a NASCAR game. Unbelievable. And Joey Logano immediately kicks off the 2025 season with a win as your defending Cup Series champion from 2024. And now he is into the playoffs, but it's not an even year, so he's not going to win it anyways. And as you saw, our car a bit worn out following today's episode, but I mean, outside of winning, you can't have a better start to your new Cup Series ride with a brand new team. P3 on debut. It's only unfortunately going to get worse from here. So, you know, we gotta be real at the same time. We led 3 laps. That was fantastic. Atlanta's going to be another opportunity to run well, but a lot harder to pass there. And as well, after that, things are going to get real very quick. What a start to the Cup Series career. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Have a great day.